all, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go through the rest of our July coloring pages. So I knew this month was going to be a big month, which is why I filmed the first half of July pages. We had some time off and I did a lot of coloring on those days off and while traveling. So I'm excited to share the rest of my pages here. And I thought this time I would also go through more in detail of the mixed media that I used, because this month we did have a lot of mixed media that I was trying and playing with for the store. So I thought I would share that. And then I also wanted to share that we are going to start putting the links to some of the materials to our store in the description box, so you can check that out below. And there's also a coupon code for 15% off if you're interested in visiting the store. So, and anything we don't sell in the store, I'll try to let you know where I got those items. But let's get started. So the first book up is Wildflower Folk by Christine Karen. So the new one is here. So we have it in our store. So I'm so excited. So I am going to be coloring that for August. So we'll have some pages then. But for this month in Wildflower Folk, I did 2 pages. The first one that I did is this one. So Lilies and Pearls. Make sure that's in frame. Yep. Okay, so this one I didn't do a background with this. I just did a little bit of gold metallic around the edge, and then she is all in pan pastels. Again, I think I've showed this before. I just get these off of Blick or local art store. So this is the portrait set that I use, and so I used the tan and darker skin tone colors for this. And I also used pearls, liquid pearls. So these are my favorite white liquid pearls, the Hero Art pearls. So I use that for all of the pearl work. So this is all liquid pearls around here. And then the lilies this is all Carnadash luminance pencils. And the hair. So the hair, I'll show you this later too. But for the hair, when it's a side profile type of page, instead of doing the pencil technique where you have the highlight in the middle using a white pencil, I actually just use one pen. So my favorite pens to use for this style of technique are these, which are by Faber-Castell. These are the Gold Faber Aqua Dual Markers. I love these for hair. Well, actually, I use these for hair, water, anything that needs some kind of a highlight. So this is actually just one color. So this is one color of marker. It's this one that I use all the time. It's burnt sienna, my very favorite brown color. And I love that the colors, obviously Faber-Castell, as you know, they match. So the polychromo pencils, these, all the colors, the Albert Durers, all the colors match. So, which is really fun. But yeah, so this hair is one pen, just gone over a few places to make a darker tone, but you can make highlights with just different strokes. So love these for hair. We sell these in open stock. So you could just, if you wanted to try it out, you could just buy this one. This actually would be the one I would probably get, is burnt sienna. So I really like this page and how it came out. So those pearls are really fun, and I love the deeper skin tone for that one. This is the other one that I did. This one I actually used a color card on, and I can't find it. I posted it on Instagram, but that was a really fun exercise. So in my last video, I went through my trios, my Carnadash trios, and I realized I didn't have a purple in there. So that was fun. I had to come up with a purple. This is my list of of Carnadash luminance pencils. So the purple I came up with was Blue Denims, Violet, and Ultramarine Violet. So that's the combination that I used for the purple. And then I used the yellow and turquoise and pink that I already shared in my last video. And then the butterflies are silver metallic. And the face is pan pastels, as always. I love anything steampunk, so was really excited to do this page. But yeah, beautiful page. And then coming up next month in this book, I'm excited to do this one. And here's the color card for this, 307, that I'm going to use for inspiration for Forest Sprite. And then again, the new book is here, and I can't wait to grab one and get started in that. Next up is A Million Little Monsters. So I have never colored in this book before, and I know many have, so I'm excited to get started in this. So the only page that I did so far is this one, kind of the donut shop page. This is so cute. So I kind of had to figure out what was going on. So they bake the donuts in the pink robot, and then they decorate it in the yellow, and then it comes out, I think, and then it comes out all together in the orange. So I just think it's so cute. This is a gelato background, and then using the stencil, I did the cloud effect. So this is just I think this is a lawn fawn stencil. I've had it for a while, but you can get all kinds of stencils like this on Amazon. But you just use a little bit of ink. So when I do this effect, I do the gelato first, rub it over the page, and then I use Distress ink. So I think this is Uncharted Mariner by Tim Holtz. And then I just brush the clouds to make that effect. So I did that page. And then the donuts, the glaze on top, I wanted to make it very shiny. Hopefully you can see that shine. I just used some glossy accent for that. So yeah, really cute page. Excited to have that done. This one's next, so working on that one. So that's A Little Million Monsters by Lulu Mayo. I mentioned that we traveled, so this is my travel book. So whenever we travel, I try to finish at least 1 or 2 pages. I am working on a page towards the front, so every time we go, I do a little bit of the characters here. I was able to do a skirt in the last trip on this page, but the big page that I did was this page, and this is really a like just for fun page. So this one, obviously the theme here is Mardi Gras. And so for this page, so these are all luminance pencils, except for this underskirt is actually acrylic paint, acrylic metallic teal paint. And then this is all black acrylic paint. So not a paint pen, actual acrylic matte black paint. And then it's covered with, I try to make a confetti look. So it's got metallic sparkles on it. Some stickles, these are luminance pens, some gold outlining with gel pens. She is Pan Pastels, I believe. And then I had some feathers in my stash, some Mardi Gras feathers. So I just put feathers on the mask. But oh, and I had a few crystal gems. Let's see, I put one on each mask. But yeah, I mean, listen, coloring should be fun. I think this page is fun. Yeah, I just kind of went for that Mardi Gras look. But yeah, so that's what I was able to do in Midnight Masquerade. So that one is good. Getting there with that, almost done. This is a beautiful book. So this is the Botanical Wonderlands. I love Rachel Reinert. I do a lot of work in her, and I haven't actually done it. I haven't done a page in her books since I started the YouTube channel. So I'm going to come back to her in August because I just love her designs. So this is the Botanical Wonderland. This is the artist edition. So that's the large page and it's on beautiful cardstock paper. So I have 3 that I did because I was playing with gelatos. So it's not so much about the actual pages because basically all I did for coloring was I just used these watercolor markers. So I just used a variety of colors for the actual image. But the goal of working in this book was to play with gelatos and different effects. So this is a graduated sunset behind here using gelatos wet. So I put the gelato on my palette, like I've shown before. So you just scribble it on here, and then I sprayed with water the actual gelato, and then picked it up with my brush, and then did the different colors. Again, trying out all of the gelato colors. For this, I used 4 colors. So let's see if I can find them. Yeah, so I used cherry for the red, blood orange for the orangey red, orange soda for the orange, and then banana for the yellow. So all 4 of these colors performed wonderfully, so I would highly recommend all of them. But honestly, like blood orange for the win. This is a gorgeous color. It is so smooth and went on so easily, and it's just the most beautiful color. So this will be really fun for our Halloween. So I'm excited for that. And then for yellow, banana, it's a classic, is so great. It has such, it's so vibrant and has great opacity. So I highly recommend if you like need a yellow gelato, I would use that one. So that was fun to play with, kind of a sunset. And then I did this one completely opposite. So I think this one technically is supposed to be like this. But I did it like this because I loved these kind of hanging down, more like a chandelier type of look. So this is just a monochromatic palette. For this one, the background, I used Iced Rose Metallic. So that's behind here. And then I went in with the, again, that same cloud stencil and used the ground espresso. So these are the 2 colors I used for the cloud effect. And I think that came out really pretty. So, I would definitely do this again, especially if you're looking for kind of a vintage look. But that, I love the different gradients of the clouds. And the clouds are great too. Again, use the same stencil just in various places. Super easy. This probably took me 5 minutes to do this background. But again, you don't have to worry about splotchiness when you use a stencil over your background. So highly recommend that. And then for these, I just use a variety of my Artorama, the markers that I get at Jerry's Artorama. So the Artfinity alcohol markers, that's what I used for these. So yeah, so that turned out nice. So that was, again, another experiment. And again, these are so fun. This is cardstock, so you can just play and practice. And then I liked this cloud effect so much that I did it again for this one, tried a different kind of brighter. So just did some sunset colors, just comboed a bunch of gelatos. And then over this, I used the blue Uncharted Mariner for the clouds, just to see, again, just plain. And then again, these are alcohol markers to color those in. But this was fun. I really like this one. Fun to play with the gelatos, what you can do. Again, I used the gelatos wet for all of those. So this is a great book if you don't have this. I know the drawings can be a little intimidating, I think, because like she's got these black parts in here. But it actually, I think it makes it look really neat and easy to use. So if you haven't tried these, I would try alcohol markers or those Goldfaber water markers, aqua markers, because it just makes it so easy. I mean, of course you can do pencils too, but lots of different options for that one. So that was fun. The Merry Christmas book. So this is the US version of God Yule. We finally have it. So exciting. So we have this in the store. And so of course I had to grab a copy for myself. So Christmas in July, I just did one picture in here. So I did this one, just because it wasn't too Christmassy or wintry. But I did do this. So this is metallic acrylic paint for the background, and then just some gold gel pen, the gold Hero Arts, these drops for all of these, and luminance pencils. So, this was another color combination that I needed that I didn't have on my list. So for my luminance pencils, the color combination I used for kind of a blood red was Perylene Brown, Crimson Alizarin, and Scarlet. Excuse me if I'm not saying those words right. But that trio is now part of my kit for the dark red. So yeah, this is a wonderful book. I can't wait to get into that for the holidays. Rita Berman. So I did a page of the first half of July in Rita Berman, and I did a second page just because I couldn't wait to get started on this one. So this one is the other one that I did, the other double page spread that I mentioned in that video that I was excited to start working on. So this was a fun page. I did this all in watercolor. So that's why it kind of looks a little, it's got a little bit of a different look to it. A little bit different marks here because it's all watercolor. So for this, I was trying out these liquid watercolors by Hero Arts. And these are wonderful. So I just mix them up in a palette, add water to them, but they're nice and vibrant, very, very bright. And so I just mixed a bunch of colors to make the flowers and the leaves and the blue for the background. And then all of the bugs are with Posca acrylic pens. So you can see. And then the wings all have kind of a shimmery overlay to them. The sparkle that you see are these sandstone, my favorite color of Stickles. I think it has such great sparkle. And then silver for the background, just for some added sparkle in the blue. But yeah, so again, such a beautiful book. So I love doing the double page spreads, and I'm worried that I might be running out of them. But oh, this that's funny. I turned right to this one. This one is going to be next. So this one for August. I love this. I love the desert scenes. And maybe I'll do the sunset background that I just showed you in that previous, and that Rachel Reiner. Maybe I'll do that for this page, but I'm gonna mark this for August. So yeah, love this book. And the Seasons book, I think, is coming in August, so I'm excited to get that, of this bigger version. And I like the bigger version. I have the smaller versions from the European versions, but this size, I'm tending to like that a little bit more. So Lulu's House of Wonder. So I showed my halfway there page in the last video, and I did finish it. So this is my first page done in this book. So this is the nighttime, bedtime reading a book with all of her friends. I just think this page is so cute. So these are luminance pencils with a little bit of gold metallic on the wallpaper. You can see that. I did all of the woodwork. Again, this is luminance pencils, but it is that same brown, my very favorite brown combination that I use for everything and adore. Let's look at my cheat sheet. So it's burnt ochre, burnt sienna, and sepia is my brown combination that I use for any type of woodwork or trees or anything like that. So I did that there. This is maybe one of the cutest books. So this actually ended up taking a long time. I want to say this took like 2 or 3 sittings to finish, 3 sittings probably to finish this. It took a lot longer with pencils than I thought, but it was so fun that I think I'll do that again. I don't know. It's hard to say. There's a dollhouse page. There's a dollhouse page in here that I think is going to be next. So I'm not sure where it is. I'm not going to be able to find it now. But, and it's a nighttime scene again with some illumination and lights and things. So I'm excited. I'm not going to be able to find it now. Oh, God. That is so cute, too. Oh, so many cute pages. But, yes, this is my first one in this book. And look forward to continuing to work in that probably every month. Okay, it's not spooky season yet, I know, but the Halloween books are calling my name. So I think there will probably be a few Halloween books coming out in August. And then September, I consider September the start of spooky season. So September and all of October, there will be a lot of Halloween. I have a lot of Halloween books that only come out for a certain time frame. So I'm excited. But I did get this book recently, Alan Robert, The Beauty of Horror Tarot. So I don't have the Carnival Beauty of Horror book, but I have seen it on YouTube and of course know it because I love Alan Robert. And I need to get that because I guess there's a picture. It says in the intro of this book, I'm sure you all know this, but I didn't know this. It's if you read the intro, I guess in that book, there's a tarot reader and they show cards. And then this is like the zoomed in version of those cards. This is a really thick book. So I'm sure you've seen this on YouTube. This is like, I think this came out last year, the year before, but so I got it and I did one page. This is the Hermit. So This is the page I did. Luminance pencils. Again, my Luminance pencils, I realized I didn't have a dirty gray brown trio. So for his shirt, I just used all the French grays. So it's like French gray 60, French gray 30, French gray 10. That's what I ended up using for his gray shirt. And then the rest is all Luminance. These, the clouds I went over, his drawings, he has in his clouds, oh here, he has in his clouds this white outline. I found that a little hard to figure out what to do with that, so I just covered it over with black. Again, I used one of these black pens, these Goldfabers, and just covered it over with the black, and then used a little pan pastel to make some definition there. But the rest is all Luminance pencils. So you can see the light illuminating. Did a pink bunny mask just because I think that's creepy. And then the blood splatters. This is a fun effect. I'm going to use this at Halloween a lot. So these are the, I was testing these out. These are the Artesia Real Brush pens. They're good. They're not anything close to the Zig water brush pens if you've used those before, but they're good for an affordable version, and they have a million colors. And so I use these two colors for this effect. So I did the lighter color, and then I did the darker red, so it kind of looks just like a kind of a blood smear, for lack of a better way to say it. And I thought that was cool. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that effect with these pens more often. So that was a fun little experiment. But yeah, you know, this is if you're into this kind of thing, this is a really, really fun book. There's so many different things to do. But yeah, I need to get the carnival version so that I know where it all started. So that's that. And then, of course, my Hannah Carlson. So I feel like the last few months, the jewelry box, Magical Dawn and Summer Nights has come out every single month. Can't really stop using them. So the first page that I'm going to show from these books, so this, I did this one. And if you know from our shop and our channel, we focus a lot on vintage paper and vintage art supplies and vintage scrapbooking, and art journaling was my first passion. So we have a lot of supplies for art journaling, and then it's kind of translated over into my coloring. And so this page just like, I think kind of embodies everything that I love about coloring, art journaling, vintage paper, all the things. So I love the color scheme that I used on this page. Of course, Hannah's pages with birds and bugs and butterflies I love. And of course, my favorite is the jewelry and the portraits. So this page has all the things. So I think it turned out really nice. Again, the hair is the only one pen. So to do those highlights and everything, it's just using the burnt sienna Goldfaber pen. So that's what that is. And then her lipstick and the tail over here of the bird is actually this pen again, but in Venetian red. So it looks a lot lighter in this color, but it turns out to be like that. So it's a brownish red. So again, another favorite color from these pens. Used a sand color, some tan colors of the same pen for the envelope. And then the background is, again, another stencil. So this is a stencil, and it's using the tea dye oxide ink for the stencil. I love this color, tea dye. I just think it's so pretty and vintage. And then this is espresso. So the oxide espresso, which I use all the time. I don't have it handy. Oh, I already showed it. It's this right here. So I just put that around the corners. And then lots of gel pen. This, hopefully you can see, is gel pen, and it's also, I used the beige Posca pen. So this, is it called beige? Yes, it's called beige. So that's for her dress and some of the headdress here. This is gold, gold metallic, using my Koreans. So again, my Korean Deco Gel Star Sparks are my favorite gel pen, and we sell these open stock. So if you, again, I know they're a little pricey. If you just wanted to try out one one of these you could get at Stencils open stock if you wanted. So this is the gold version, I believe, that I used throughout this. Oh, I gave her a gel manicure. So I just did black pen. I think it was the black version of this again. Yes, it was. And then just put glossy accents over the top to give her kind of cool nails. And I use that for the same technique for her ring and the jewels. Just using the Wildflower pen and then glossy accent on top. But, yeah. So I think this turned out pretty. This is all Corrine, the light brown pen. So pretty. Oh, the dots. I'm sorry. The dots are, again, the Hero Arts. So these. Yeah. So this one is probably one of my favorites for the month. So there's that in jewelry box. Magical Dawn. We did this one. So this one is again using using my gelatos. I was going to show you the colors, but again, banana always comes out. Oh, the edges are the metallic melon. So this is banana and metallic melon around the edge. And then I used another stencil. So this is a Tim Holtz star stencil. I just added some stars. So just added, there was a few stars in the background and I just added, or a few little dots, and I just added more stars. So that's what I did here. And then hopefully you can see the whole star shines. And this is the FinTech gold set. So these are watercolors. Arabic gold, I think, is the main focus, but I used all of these. So these are my favorite gold metallics. These, of course, you have to, so spray them, give them a minute to kind of sink, the water to sink in, and then the texture of these is different than other watercolors that I have, at least. It's thicker, so it can go on, if you get the combination just right of paint to water, it will go on, I don't know if you can see, it will go on almost like a gel pen. So it's extremely opaque, but hopefully you can see that. But I highly, highly recommend that. And then these pearls, again, are the Hero Arts white pearls. And the same effect, just a yellow Goldfaber water marker for the gems, and then glossy accents over the top. So, yeah, that one turned out pretty. So that, I think, is the only, yeah, that's the only one I did in that one for the month. Yeah. And then the last page that I worked on for the back half of July, oh, sorry, did I just shake that? Sorry about that. The last half was Summer Nights. So, Summer Nights this is the last one I did for the month, was this one. So another bug. I love Hannah's bugs. So this is a combination of, again, a bunch of different gelatos that I used. So let's see what the colors I used. I used our margarita mix, limoncello, pistachio, and lime. So those are the colors that I used for that. And I just mixed them all together. I sprayed them to make them wet and then just put them on with an applicator. So again, just an ink applicator. And then I used a fern stencil in the background. So, I mean, any type of fern stencil, we have a ton of them in the store, but a fern stencil. And then I just used one of these applicators, kind of big ink applicators. This is from Amazon. And used my favorite green ink, which is Forest Moss, the Distress Oxide. So I use that just kind of for a light background on top of the gelatos. The stamps, so I used to use stamps a lot in my coloring book. So before YouTube, before I started doing YouTube, there was a lot of pages with stamps. So I will probably be going back to that a bit, and I'll share some of my old pages at some point so you can see the stamp work that I usually do. But these are my favorite stamps. So these are the Stampers Anonymous, Tim Holtz. And while these are a little expensive, honestly, I get so much use out of these. I use these every time I do an art journal. Every time I do a scrapbooking page, my Stampers Anonymous come out. So I think they're actually, I mean, I think they're a good investment, at least for me, because I think I use them so much. So for this one, I just picked out 2 of these. I used the number and I used the specimen stamp. So these you just put on a acrylic block, and then I use archival ink so that it doesn't smear. You can also use StazOn, is really good, but I just use the black acrylic ink. So I just put, or black, I'm sorry, archival ink for these 2 things. So just did a little bit because I didn't want it to compete with the Fern stencil. And then these are all Posca pens, and my Hero Arts, that same effect with a pink gold fiber and then the acrylic over the top. Oops, excuse me. But yeah, I thought he turned out really nice. I was trying to make him look kind of like a Talavera bug. Again, we're in San Antonio, so I often get inspired by the bright colors of the pottery and things here. So that is what I was going for that bug. And then the teeny little dots here. So while the Hero Arts are great for the bigger dots, the teeny little ones, I use this by Stamperia. So this is a contour white Stamperia dot stuff, contour liner, but it comes out in teeny little dots. So you can do all of the detail work with something like this. And this comes in a variety of colors, and I'll link it down below. But that's I use that quite a bit. Okay. And then I think that's it. And then next month, just because I see it here sticking out, but next month, I'm excited. The first page I'm going to do, I just love the bugs, right? So I'm going to do this bug, but this is the stencil I'm going to use in the background. I don't know if you can see that. It's hard. It's hard to see, but maybe you can see. So this is an Egyptian kind of hieroglyphic stencil from Stamperia. We have this in the store. We'll link it below, but I'm going to do that for the background. So I'm just going to, the size of these stencils is absolutely perfect for these coloring pages. It's so easy. You can literally just lay it over like this and then use an applicator like this and rub the stencil around the sides. What I'll do though is I'll first put down some gelato just to give it some color, and then I'll use my oxide ink for the stencil for the background. And then I think I am going to do this as a double page spread, and so I'll complete I'll bring the gelato over to the back, and then I think I can probably do the stencil in the back. And then I'm going to do her with tan skin, black hair, and then bring the colors of the bugs over as well. So it'll be kind of a Egyptian inspired double page spread. So that's the plan for that. So that will be my first page for August. And then again, that Christine Caron new book, Wildflower Folk, is calling my name. So I'm excited to get started with that. But that's it for the month. Thank you again. Again, we'll have all of the details linked below. Thank you to those who have lately subscribed. We really, really appreciate it. And we'll be back again, probably again mid-August, for a check-in on our pages. So have a wonderful day, and we'll talk soon. Bye.